Okay, so I'm making ramen. What I'm doing right now is heating up the pan on medium-high heat, so pretty hot, and I'm going to take the tofu. I'm going to press the water out of it. I'll probably use a third of the packet because I will eat all of the tofu. I'm going to drain it out of here. I dropped some. I'm going to take a clean tea towel. Ooh, the pan is hot. I'm going to cut this into 3 thin strips that I'll then cube. So this is about how thick they are. Then I'm going to press the water out of them. That'll make this a better texture. People say it makes it taste more like chicken. At the same time that I'm heating up this pan, so you only want to press it enough to get the water out, not to actually break it. The same time that I started the pan, I also put enough hot water so that I can pour it over the noodles and the miso. So that's slightly pressed. I'm going to move it somewhere else to get even more water out. Then I'm really into not doing a lot of dishes, so I'm going to use the same bowl that my soup will go in. I like to have a deep one so that I can have broth and the noodles and everything else. So this is my bowl, and I'm going to need coconut starch, salt and pepper, and garlic powder. I'm putting about a teaspoon of garlic powder, a little bit of salt, some cracked fresh pepper, I'm also going to use some soy sauce because I'm getting all the water out of this. The tofu will need some moisture. This is getting really hot. There's like steam coming off of this, so I'm going to take this off for a second so that oil doesn't burn. This is less sodium soy sauce because I love salt so much. This is one good way to eliminate some of that. Okay, so we should be good to go on the tofu. So now all that I'm going to do is stack up the tofu and cut it. I know, I'm like cutting it on a dish towel. So I'm going to do cubes. So I'm first cutting them this way and then the other way. Okay, and then it's okay if they get like little pieces in them when they go in the bowl, because those become like delicious crumbly bits. You can eat tofu raw. Just not very flavorful, but to me it's a really cool texture. So a little dash of soy sauce. It's probably like half a teaspoon, I don't know. And then I'm just gonna throw in a little cornstarch. Maybe that's a tablespoon or so. So this is what it looks like. And then I'm gonna toss this up with, I'll use this spoon so I can also use it for the flipping it around in the pan. So you just want to make sure everything gets kind of evenly coated. I'm going to throw this back on the heat. So the pan is going to be really hot, and then the oil will also be really hot. I can hear that my water is almost boiled. So you just want to make sure everything's evenly coated in here. And I will just kind of like throw this in on top of the oil. Coconut oil, like heaping tablespoon, probably closer to 2 tablespoons. Maybe I don't need quite that much, like this much. Because you're frying it, but you're only pan frying it, so it's not going to be that intense. And because it's coconut oil, it's hard at room temperature, so you'll get some left over, and you can just throw it on your lips, and then don't touch your food. But it's just for you anyway, so who cares? Okay, so toss things. I lost some tofu. This is what it looks like. There's still some crumbly bits. The oil is all melting, so I'm going to throw it in there. It's blazing up. I'm getting every last little bit. Like those crumbs become super delicious. They're all well flavored. Lay them all out nicely in the oil. Make sure there's all the flat surfaces you possibly can have, and let that cook. So this is what that looks like. Yay! So let that go and just kind of like forget about it for a second. Okay, I did drop the tofu. I'm gonna eat it. I don't care. I'm just gonna look to see if there's no like hairs on it. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. It's like my floors. But it could still be gross. So now I'm going to rinse the bowl, rinse the spoon. Once that's rinsed out, I'm going to grab a thing of noodles. And this is the new miso paste that I got. I got it from the store and it tastes very like fermented. So I just kind of threw this all together yesterday. I feel like I should do the miso first to kind of cook it down. I guess I could use this spoon. So I wiped off the spoon and yeah, so I'm using about a tablespoon, like probably a heaping tablespoon of this miso paste. And then I'm filling it up with hot water so that it will cover the ramen noodles, or at least to the height that I want it. But just be careful not to add too much, as, man, there's like water everywhere. I think that's my fault though, from the tofu. Like opening the side window to release steam. So I'm gonna like shimmy this through first, kind of whisk it through. Oh, and I remembered I have green onions. The lower part of the stalk, I just cut them all. I snipped them with scissors. The greener ones are less intense, so those are good for garnishing. The bigger ones, like the white ones, are better for just throwing in the pan. So I'm throwing some in. This is not, I did not do this yesterday, but this is gonna add some like nice flavor. So I actually really like to flip pans. There's a lot of oil in this, so be careful because it can get you. Oh my gosh, do you want to see how good this looks? It looks so good. Wow. So delicious. I love tofu. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what I do with the miso, I'm still like trying to blend it all in, but I also want the ramen to actually cook. So I'm gonna take, it's just soy sauce flavored ramen. I saved the soy sauce packets. I really don't know what I'm saving them for. Oh, the little crumbles? I eat those. But I saved these. There's one time when I want a lot of salt and MSG. I'm rinsing off zucchini. I'm going to eat the whole thing because zucchini is delicious. So I'm going to flip this so it gets fully cooked. Oh, I also do a splash of soy sauce actually in this to add a little flavor. I'm also, of course, going to add some hot sauce. Okay, we're done with the miso. So we're done with the coconut oil. The tofu is like looking great. And it's really, it can all be happening while you're making other things. It just needs to be left alone. Oh. Adding a sea flavor with seaweed. I just have sheets of nori. I will be adding some more green onions, but not now. Right now, I want to focus on the zucchini because that'll be the next thing that I add to the pan. I take advantage of the fact that there is oil in there. And I want some more vegetables. So we're going to let the ramen noodles sit in the hot water. Hot and now flavorful water because of the miso paste. Miso is really good. The fermented things for your digestion. I know that a lot of people start their days having miso soup. Like, that's just a normal thing in Japan. Okay. This is not the best knife to cut. So I do them in thick pieces because I like them to be really crisp instead of soggy, and I cut those in half. Okay, the tofu I can tell is like almost done. I just want to make sure all the surfaces are covered. And then all my veggie ends, onions, any kind of vegetables, not any kind, but basically everything, carrot, celery. Oh, my spoon. The flip. Whoa, this is getting like so crisp and delicious. I want to make sure all the surfaces are covered. Yeah, these are getting like brown. This looks kind of amazing. Kind of just want to move this off to the side and throw in the zucchini and let it all cook together. I think I'll do that. I just took out the tofu last time, but this time I'm just gonna keep it all in there. When it's all cooked, I actually do half and half. Like, I keep some of the tofu and zucchini outside of the ramen because the ramen's gonna like soften it, and I like the crispy like amazingness. So I'm just making sure all the surfaces are covered. There's some oil left that I'm letting the zucchini come in on. And of course I'm gonna add some salt and pepper and garlic powder, and then I can put those away. So just a little bit on top of the zucchini to season. Just a little, not too much salt, because you're gonna be adding soy sauce to deflaze the pan. Okay, so you can put away your seasoning now. Oh, there's the top. You can put away your cornstarch and your miso paste. The miso paste goes in the fridge. Oh gosh, the tape is not wanting to stay. Oh, grab your hot sauce. You're almost out. This stuff is amazing. You could also use Sriracha, whatever you prefer. I think I should be done with the tofu now. I'm going to take it out. So part of my presentation is putting this on a plate with the bowl on top. Oh gosh, the noodles look great. Everything's softening. There's flavor in here. I'm going to be eating this with chopsticks and a nice little soup spoon. So, part of the presentation is that I put this on the plate, and I'm going to move the tofu off of here. So I'm going to put some of it, especially the crispier bits, on the side of the plate, so that I keep some of it really like crispy and delicious. And then some of it I will plop into the soup, because it's also nice to have it like that. But I like a lot of it to be, because you could just throw it in. It's kind of nice having choice with what goes in your ramen. My zucchini's trying to join me. Okay, so the zucchini's looking great. Really into letting it brown and crisp up. I'm also really into cooking at high temperatures because I'm impatient. So I'm doing some of this. You tilt down and then pull it towards you. And you can only get it if you just go for it. And if you mess it up, you're gonna clean the stovetop, or the floor, I guess. This needs a little more heat and intensity. I'm trying to flip it so that every side is getting crisp. This is harder. I think I used less oil than yesterday, so there's not as much oil to crisp everything up, but it's still good. I'm gonna let it go for a minute or two longer. I'm gonna add a garnish of the greens. Gonna add hot sauce to the actual ramen. You might just keep the hot sauce by you in case you want to go more. So I did about a tablespoon, which like goes nicely into what you're actually eating. I'm keeping out the soy sauce because I'm going to add that. Putting these things away. This is a really cheap meal. I'm putting the tofu away. I used a third of the, I don't think I showed you what it was, but it's extra firm tofu. Just a third of that block. And then seaweed you can just tear. I actually like a lot of seaweed. I'm blending up the hot sauce now. Hopefully it's not too hot. I'm gonna use 2 sheets. You might even do more. If you just want a little bit, it will add like a kind of a fishy flavor if you're not into that flavor of the sea. But it's really nice to add some like greens and flavors. Ooh, zucchini, it's like smoking. Oh, good, some of it's sticking. That's a good thing. So when things start to like stick, that's when we're gonna deglaze, and we're gonna deglaze with something that adds flavor, which is soy sauce. So just throwing a little bit on. Yeah, do you hear that sizzle? So nice. Oh, and it's something about the zucchini and the way it smells. Okay, now this is nice. It's so hot that it needs water right now. Probably doing like 3 tablespoons of water. Just throwing some in. And this will help go light on the water. I don't like soggy zucchini. Woo! Look at this party. That was probably a little bit too much, but I'm keeping it on high heat so it'll reduce down. Being thrown together so quickly, and there's so few dishes. It's basically just this pan and then what you're actually eating on, and a knife and a spoon and your utensils. So it doesn't require a lot of extra things. This looks like a lot. If you were to see the bowl, I guess I'll show you this in a second. It looks like a lot of seaweed, but it'll get thinned out. It's almost like how spinach, oh, I want to eat a piece of tofu. Okay, this stuff, look at how amazing that is. Look at how delicious. Oh my gosh. That, oh my gosh. I can kind of remember eating fried chicken, and this is like nothing like this. This is so much better. It is a little salty. If you're trying to avoid salt, you should reduce everything that I've done in this. Okay, so I mixed up. It looked like a lot of seaweed, but already those 2 sheets have thinned out nicely. So we've got our tofu in there. I'm basically just waiting for the zucchini sauce to reduce. So there's still a lot of sauce in there. This is what my ramen looks like. My little thing of tofu on the side. Okay, so this is taking like 15 to 20 minutes. We're almost at 20 minutes. So I'm gonna turn the heat off so that we're done there. Oh, I'm gonna show you where I'm throwing the bits of my zucchini. Onions, carrots, celery, potatoes surprisingly work well. The green onion tops I put in there. Gosh, the floor is so wet. So you keep this Ziploc, reusable Ziploc bag in your freezer. Look at all the vegetables I have in there now. Onions, ends of things, broccoli. So I just throw those in there, and when it's full, it's basically full now. You can make veggie stock out of this. You heat it up with water, boil it for like 30 minutes. Maybe not boil, simmer it for 30 minutes. Done with this. And you can add, I think it's some soy sauce and like Italian seasoning. Oh, look at this. Zucchini are like perfect now. So I'm gonna throw some of them over here and some of them actually in the soup. And then you can choose how you eat it. And that is my lunch. So amazing. Okay. And just to save room in the sink, I just add some water to this, and I'm putting this off to the back so it can soak. So this is what I'm eating. Tofu, zucchini, hope this doesn't make you dizzy,